a team recovered them, brought them back to the aircraft carrier. The aircraft carrier then went to Pearl Harbor, so it took about 2 days to get to Pearl Harbor, and then there they met an airplane, which then flew them directly back to Houston. But for that mission, I will say the astronauts were in quarantine, so a slightly different protocol was necessary, and so they had to do the whole trip inside of an Airstream trailer.
Viewers, we just want to let you know that we're just showing you video of the separation that took place just moments ago, and we'll watch that, and as other things are lining up to happen before splashdown just after 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8:07, I believe it is exactly, with our guest. Let's go to Richard. Richard in North Carolina. Hi there.
Hey, this is Richard from North Carolina. I just wanted to say I'm proud to see us pushing forward with Optimus. It's not just about the moon. It's about inspiring the next generation and proving we can still do big things. My wife, Emily, has been watching just about every moment of this, and I hope we stay committed to it. I'm so proud of them, and thank you guys for hosting all this.
Richard in North Carolina, Tizomio Harmony. I read a quote of yours saying that there was perception at Apollo times once it was done that the space program stopped, but that wasn't the case.
That wasn't the case, and also during the shuttle program, when that ended, sometimes people thought it stopped. What NASA is doing is incredible. Human spaceflight's just a little part of it, and throughout time, there have been all these other really important programs in astrophysics and heliophysics, planetary science. You can go on and on and on, and it's so exciting to see the attention that Artemis program is getting. Like your wife, it was really hard for me to do anything else this week besides just follow that coverage constantly. It was so much fun to see every single moment of this mission so far, and I think it has drawn a lot of attention and enthusiasm for space exploration, and I hope that people pay more and more attention to what NASA's doing.
As an Apollo historian, was it bittersweet to see records being broken by this crew then saved? And be honest, it's okay.
Oh, Apollo still has many records that are not broken. I could go on and on.
The first whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's one that I don't think no one's ever going to break this, which is the first lunar landing. Half the world stopped what they were doing to watch that landing in unison. You can think of that, half the world, 1 and 2 people, were doing something together. That is absolutely extraordinary. If anyone knows of any example or anything rivals that, but I don't think so. The numbers now, the population's greater. We do have, lots of people tuning in to all sorts of things, but half the world doing something together. It's really quite remarkable, and Apollo might be the only.
But in a way, and Richard, that was really eloquent. And I think it's bringing out the most eloquent in all of us in trying to kind of put into words how we feel about all of this. So whether it was back in Apollo days or today, that's what's really cool about this, is that there's so many things in the world that are more challenging. You watch this and you're so inspired. We're all so inspired by these 4 people and what they're doing and that team behind them that came together to do this. Yeah, it's like we're all trying to come up with the right words. And it's just, it's pretty inspirational.
Tim joins us from Oregon. Tim, hello. You're on with our guest.
Yes, hi. I was wondering about Mike Collins and the Apollo program. Didn't they go far on the far side of the moon?
Go for it.
Yeah, so it's great you brought up Mike Collins. So he was the command module pilot, and you're very correct that he orbited around the far side of the moon. There's been a lot of talk in this mission that these astronauts are seeing the far side of the moon, and they're seeing features of the far side that have never been seen before. And the reason for that is because some of the areas they've seen were in shadow during the Apollo mission. So all of the Apollo missions were timed particularly so that the sun was at a particular angle, which meant that parts of the far side were not illuminated. And so they didn't see some of these features. With Artemis 2, they're also seeing the moon at a greater distance than most of the Apollo missions. So for all the Apollo orbital missions, they were orbiting about 60 miles around the moon, 60 miles from the moon. But this mission was much, much greater. So, right, that's like about 50,000? No, 5,000 miles. Sorry, yeah. 5,000 miles. So at a much greater distance, right? So, and that also allows them to see the far side of the moon in a different perspective. So a number of factors are contributing to why people are saying that with this mission, they're seeing the far side in a new and different way. And you're very right that Mike Collins orbited around, saw the far side by himself as his crewmates Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were walking on the lunar surface.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say that what the difference is going to be this time is that when you see people go back to the moon and land, all of the crew will leave the capsule, get in the lander, and go to the surface. So now with automation, you could leave the capsule in orbit. Poor Mike Collins doesn't have to be up there by himself watching his teammates go down to the surface. Everyone can go down. They'll get back to the capsule when they're done. So we are going to now be able to get those 4 people, hopefully, or more down to the surface on future missions.
And speaking of perspective shots, it looked like we're getting a shot from the inside out of the capsule. Jeff Velosin, any impressions there as far as what we're seeing?
I think, so I was just looking, I think some of those, so the screen on the left, I think might be some footage from during the mission. The screen on the right, I don't know, is that the current view? That is the Earth getting bigger down below.
Looking out, yeah.
So, yeah. So, again, I think what's amazing is I got here a couple hours before we went on air, and I was sitting in the green room watching, and the Earth was this little ball. Right, that was a couple hours ago. Now they're about ready to get to the fringe of the atmosphere. You can kind of tell that they're in that upper fringe of the atmosphere at that point. So it's amazing how fast they're traveling.
Heck of a car window that they're looking out of right now, the Orion.
In a little bit, what they're going to be is seeing plasma around those windows, right? They're going to see orange and red flame. And so that's going to be slightly disconcerting. They've trained for that. But yeah, that beautiful view out the window will look like fire in a minute.
The Orion entry interface, 753, remind us of what that is.
Yeah, so that's when they get to that 400,000 foot level-ish, and that's when they start that entry profile. So the entry, where they're at the steepest angle, they get to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit on the outside of that shell at the bottom, and the capsule has to be pointed in the right direction, and the heat shield has to hold up. And so that's the most critical period of this whole flight.
And I imagine that at this point, Apollo saw a lot of these kind of situations happen, as well as getting things ready for re-entry.
Yes, so there's a lot of attention paid to these last few minutes, especially in the Apollo 13 mission. There was a lot of concern about the potential damage to the heat shield from the explosion. And so this was a very nerve-wracking moment for everyone back in 1970, April 1970. And their blackout was longer, actually, because of the trajectory of that spacecraft, which you can imagine if you were waiting on Earth to hear them communicate again, that it was taking longer really was quite nerve-wracking. But yes, this is very similar to those moments. So much about the re-entry from the moon is very similar between Apollo and Artemis.
Sydney joins us in New Hampshire. Hi, Sydney. Go ahead. You're on.
Hello. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for doing this. My question is very similar to Tim's, just about what you meant by the first time we can see the dark side of the moon with the naked eye, because I also thought that Apollo 13 went behind as well. So I guess similar question. So just wanted to say thank you guys for doing this, and huge congratulations to everyone involved in making this happen, you guys as well.
Yeah, so I think one of the big differences between this mission and Apollo, the Apollo astronauts we talked about wanted to land in the daylight on the side of the moon facing the Earth so they could communicate back to the Earth. And so the other side of the moon was more in darkness. No,
sorry.
It was partially lit?
No, yeah. So with Apollo, they wanted the correct angle of the sun.
So
they actually, it was a quarter moon. So if you can imagine just when you look at it from Earth, it looks like half the moon is illuminated. And so what that meant is half of the other side was illuminated and then half of the Earth side. So it was a quarter moon. And what that did is it really helps add contrast and help them see the features. So when they were landing, they were really clear about where the craters were, where the rocks were,
The USS John P. Murtha and the recovery team is on station and in position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere and through parachute deployment. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape. The crew is ready to complete its mission just 15.5 minutes from now. All of the activities today have gone off in perfect fashion. No issues with the vehicle, no issues with the crew. And the weather at the splashdown site is go. Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface. Mark 1 minute until entry interface. 1 minute 20 seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
Integrity, 1 minute to a 6-minute blackout.
Integrity.
Ten seconds till entry interface. And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second. Time to splash down 13 minutes, 10 seconds. And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout. This will be a 6-minute blackout period. No voice, no data from the crew. We're 30 seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory. And from the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view of Integrity. So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st. Four and a half minutes until the end of the blackout period. Time to splash down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds. The landing and support officer reports that the P3 has acquisition on integrity. Three and a half minutes left in this blackout period. This is a visualization of the plasma buildup around the spacecraft and the repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield. Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on Integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period. Time to splashdown, 9 minutes, 35 seconds. Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on Integrity. And the WB-57 flying in the splashdown zone also has a visual. And the Navy helos also have visuals. We're still in the blackout period. Still do not have communications from the crew. We're standing by for communications from the crew. We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now. We are now processing data from Integrity. Landing and support officer reports the small boats are en route to the splashdown target zone. Passing through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views of Integrity. Still waiting to establish voice communication.
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Your trajectory is nominal and your recovery teams have visual.
Guidance looks good.
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman. For America and a waiting world, integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home. Passing 100,000 feet now. Range to splash down 19 nautical miles.
Integrity impact to the camera controller fail is no cab 1 views of the chutes.
Integrity.
We're processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of integrity, time to splash down 4.5 minutes. And a view of integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000 feet. The pyros are armed for forward bay covered jettison. And there go the first series of parachutes. And we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
2 good drogue chutes. Next up.
We copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues. Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity. And we have 3 good main chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good looking parachutes. Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon. passing through 1,000 feet.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth. And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts. The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds. And we're configuring for very low data rate. Once again, splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. How us?
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post-landing.
Perfect communications established.
What a journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
Houston copies all.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what that means. So stable 1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for Integrity. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a journey around the moon. We continue to monitor the functioning of the CMOOS system. The airbags are being inflated to maintain a stable 1 or upright configuration. And there's a good view from one of the naval helicopters hovering overhead. Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
Integrity.
Okay, copy. And we are also powering up the sat phone now.
So integrity is in great shape. And as the crew continues its post-splashdown timelined activities on board, Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape. And we have 5 inflated airbags to maintain an upright configuration so that the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start of powering down the vehicle after a thorough systems check. We have no toxic gases to be concerned about, so the recovery personnel can approach the vehicle, but not until we have powered down the spacecraft. That's expected to take a few more minutes. Integrity back on Earth following its historic flyby of the moon. It was, for all intents and purposes, a textbook mission.
On 2828, but I'll remain on this frequency.
We copy.
Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid. No issues as we begin the power down of the vehicle to begin the recovery process. The propulsion officer here in Mission Control reports that we have safed the prop system on integrity.
Can you say again that was very weak and broken?
Integrity, Houston did not call.
Copy that, Houston. It might have been on the SAR radio. Stand by.
All of the milestones were executed in perfect fashion. Integrity entering the Earth's atmosphere right on time, reaching its peak speed shortly after a blackout period began. We emerged from the blackout period, but the recovery imagery airborne assets were able to pick up Integrity's descent almost immediately through entry interface, tracking the vehicle all the way down. And finally, you saw the sequence of chute deployments. First, the forward bay cover being pulled off the top of the vehicle by a series of 3 parachutes. Then the drogue chutes were deployed, followed by the 3 main chutes that slowed the splashdown velocity of integrity to just 19 miles an hour.
Integrity, Houston, with no joy on SAR and SAT phone, we'd like you to command an additional 15 minutes for a total of 30-minute power down delay.
All right, Jackie, we have selected T/D plus 30. No joy on SAR radio or sat phone. And stand by, we have the master diver on SAR radio. Please hold comms.
Hey, Lily. Excuse me. Hey, Jackie, we just got the master diver on SAR.
A good view of one of the fast boats.
Integrity, Houston, if you are happy with your comm with master diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle, which will be the precursor to the recovery teams approaching the spacecraft. There are no issues with Integrity. We've had a bit of broken capability in establishing a SARSAT or satellite phone communication.
And Houston, if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Houston copies, and Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
So as we continue to sort out the communications between Integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of the power down procedures that, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch that will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
Integrity, Houston, for sat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
Good idea, standing by.
And Jackie, yes, we are pushing the push to talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up-down arrows. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Okay, we copy all, and just to confirm, you are seeing that you're touchdown plus 30 for power, correct?
That's the affirmative.
We are trying a backdoor approach to have mission control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are standing by, waiting to close in on Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft that's called the front porch that will be where the astronauts are extracted from so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
And Houston, please don't reply. NRD, very weak but readable. Master Diver, we can hear, but they cannot hear us. And Houston on OE1, is there any chance to tie us into NRD?
Checking.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity and the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Hey, Rob, yeah, just such an honor to be able to be here on the ship, to be able to share and experience this moment with everyone together. And of course, as you just said, yes, here with NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Administrator, how did you feel getting to witness this and seeing NASA at its best?
Oh, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, you know, like the childhood Jared right now can't believe what I just saw. I mean, almost been waiting my whole lifetime to see this, and then it's NASA Administrator. I just couldn't be more proud of the entire workforce, the years, the effort, the late nights, all the hard work from across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at them behind
us
here.
Got everybody. What do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, to get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis 3? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now. But and so, yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis 2, and at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think, in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis 2, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort. We are returning to the moon. We're doing it to stay. We are building that enduring presence. We are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone. We're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator Isaacman. We are in the process of working to establish that communications link and to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown that occurred at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. We have once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board. We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down as per the procedures. So we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the side hatch of Integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures. But everything is in great shape, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle. All of the entry events went by the book, no issues, perfect trajectory for Integrity that was culminated with one final raise burn to improve the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation worked like a charm. So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach integrity and begin the process of erecting that inflatable raft called the front porch, which will see the crew members be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape. So just to recap, it has been some 26.5 minutes since the splashdown of Integrity in the Pacific. The vehicle is in excellent shape. It performed like a champ all the way down through the Earth's atmosphere. All of the vehicle functions were checked off in excellent trip hammer fashion. The parachutes all deployed as planned. Splashdown over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks out in the Pacific, and the recovery team will be approaching the vehicle shortly to erect the inflatable raft called the front porch before opening the hatch to Integrity to bring the crew members onto that raft before they're hoisted onto 2 Navy helicopters, 2 crew members for each helicopter, before they're flown back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. This is Mission Control Houston. After talking to the flight dynamics folks, we have a bit of a refinement on the splashdown time for you. Their computation shows a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Once again, from Flight Dynamics, a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Reports from the Pacific indicate that the recovery team, in communications with the crew aboard Integrity, that the crew remains in excellent shape as they await the approach of the team for a final hazard gas evaluation before they move to the side of the vehicle to erect the inflatable life raft called the front porch. Again, no issues with Integrity. The vehicle is powered